To start, we have Mike's video. He started out his talk in a very unusual way. I see usually like Mexican comedy people, and the way they start out, they usually present themselves and are like making jokes about the audience and stuff. The way I saw him do it was different. He started out with a joke about the couch, which I found very unusual. And I noticed that he had a chair that he kept constantly moving. He also kept constantly walking around. He kept going from corner to corner. Or sometimes he would be like going to one side and explaining what he was talking about, and then he kept going to the other side and explaining what he was talking about. He kept using his hands a lot. Everything he talked, he kept doing like the motions of like the airplane stuff, or like everything he kept moving his hands. That's something that I think I do a lot, just like he did. So when I was watching, I was like, well, I kind of do that. I like that he used that. I like the way he was using his hands the whole time, because I was able to relate to what he did. Um, I also like that at the ending when all the stuff was put on the stage, because that's something that was unusual to me, because I had never seen that. I'm used to seeing, well, the Mexican comedy people are never that outgoing, I guess, or like they don't do that as much. Because the one I can compare this to, it's a guy named Franco Escamilla. He just plays a guitar or makes jokes about the guitar, or he sings and stuff. I don't know about him. This is the first time I ever see him, so it was unusual to see all the things he was doing. He talked about the couch and having the kid. Every time he was talking about something, he was making it funny, because I think, well, it's obviously a comedy show. He tried to make something funny out of it. Even when, I noticed that even when he mentioned the disease that he had, where he has to go inside a bag, and where he has to use mittens so he doesn't get out and like, I guess, punch or hit like his wife. I noticed that he was like talking like very high and very like funny and stuff. And then when he started speaking about that, when he mentioned other people, he brought down the tone. He started talking more slowly. He's like making it more serious, because it is a serious disease. So I noticed that switch of tone. Overall, I didn't really not like anything. I thought he was really good in every aspect of the speech, or like the show. Yeah, like I liked it very much. Wait, one last thing is he did use a lot of how can you call it, comparisons, or at least I thought of it, because he kept comparing every single speech, like every single thing he talked, he kept comparing it to something else. So that I thought that's something maybe I could add to my speeches, or to like when I'm talking to people, so I can, I don't know, make other people understand. And when he would mention like the public, I know there was like an 11-year-old girl where he was like, I'm sorry, but your parents brought you here, or something like that, or like they're teaching you wrong, or I'm not doing anything wrong, something like that. And he then fixed his show to accommodate the girl, which I thought was like kind of weird, because when he was talking about adult things, I was like, well, maybe the 11-year-old girl shouldn't be hearing those things. So I think, yeah, that's the thing that would be like the bad thing that I saw. Moving on to the second video, we have the OTEP. What I do have to say is that I liked it. I didn't think it was gonna be like that. I watched one when I was, I don't know, it was like in elementary school, and I didn't understand half of the things they were saying. I don't know if it was because of the age, or I just don't know. But now, when I was able to understand more of the meaning they had, like I can say it was very tough. I wouldn't have been able to done that. So I have to congratulate everybody who participated in that. What I do have to point out is that for the most part, like in the individual participations, I didn't see them use hand gestures, or like they weren't, well, they were fully focused, but I didn't think they were doing the proper techniques like that you taught us. I also saw like only two girls were using like a lot of the hand motions, they were like explaining everything, and the solo part. Because when it came to the group, yeah, everybody was using full, how can I say it? They were all like using their hands, like with all motion, like to depict like the words more, or make them sound more, or add more meaning to them. Also, I felt that um, they were struggling at times. Like some of them, there was one with two girls were using like a board, and one of them kind of knew the whole thing, and the other one kept looking at the notes. So maybe I would have said like she didn't have enough practice. Like I know they had the board, but if she would have known it better, I think they would have gotten a higher score. Um, for the most part, I saw them looking forward. I didn't see a lot of like look into different directions. I saw they were focused for the most part. So like for notes wise, I know that not all of them use notes, and I was really surprised because I know they weren't like that long speeches. Some were, like some poems were, and that surprised me that they were that long and they knew what they were saying. I I have no clue if they're like they made them up or like they already exist, because it's like I don't know how that works. I'm sorry. But yeah, I thought that was pretty good. The body languages I saw for most of them was good. I didn't see them nervous, or like, at least I didn't think, because I can picture sometimes like maybe I was them. Um, they were trying to. I saw them just like trying their best. I didn't see them like struggling at times. Um, I know their speaking style. They were sometimes elevating their voice, like to scream some words, and some they brought them down depending on like what they were talking about, because sometimes they would talk about something really dramatic and they would boost their voice, and then when they were like talking about something more calm, they would just like bring it down all the way. So I thought that was like amazing, and some of the things I just see myself learning from that, and so I can improve on my own. Finally, we have Jan Blake's video, the storytelling event. That one was by far the one I enjoyed looking at the most. Funny enough, it was the shortest one too, but um, I liked it because it was very engaging. Well, at least I started out that way. The first story was to me really good because it engaged with the audience. The whole time she was involving the audience. Well, throughout the whole thing, she kept trying to like bring the audience to it with like if you want to hear my story, say a cleric or something like that. But she, and the first story was the main part where she was like when especially when the grandma was going up and down the hill, she kept saying, she kept going to the audience and like you say this and I say this, and like I thought it was very engaging, and even to the point where she was like, this is one of my favorite stories to give to like little kids because it helps them get engaged with like with teachers and stuff. So I agree. I think it's one where it's easier for kids to engage with it. Then the second story with the leper. Well, to be honest, with the story thing, I thought there was gonna be like morals to the story, and after the first one, I realized there wasn't gonna be like a lot of morals. Or at least I didn't find any. The second one with the hunter, where he had taken the two cubs from the leopardess, the way she talked about it, where the leopardess became a human and stuff. Well, it's a nice way of talking about stories and stuff, but I liked it. And then the third one, where she talked about the woodpeckers, or the woodpecker saying that he wanted to marry the girl who was very good looking and stuff, and then when she was with the dopey, or like the ghost, um, he transformed her into the woodpecker and stuff. I liked it. I liked the story. Um, Something that I did like about the whole event was that the whole time she was always really engaged with the public. She was talking to them, and like different tones. For every story, she sometimes kept going up, and sometimes she went down depending on what she was doing. Like at one point in the with the leopardess, well, with the hunter story, where the hunter went to the forest, she described how he slowly went in there, how he quietly went in there, that he wasn't talking. She wasn't talking as high as she started out. And then for dislikes, I didn't really dislike this one. I thought, but overall, like I said, it was the one I liked the most. But she did a good job with everything. Talking about stage wise, she only had a chair, and it was the light was always on her. Oh, also thing what I did like is that she wanted at the beginning where she was like, put the lights up so I can see the people. Because she wanted to see like the people. So when they were doing like the stick for the first story or stuff, like she wanted the lighting up. So I thought like that was good to learn off, because sometimes I think presenters don't really mind if there's the lighting on the people or if they can't see the people, because I don't know, for any reason they could be shy or whatever. But I thought that was something to point out. And overall, of the three stories, of the three videos, again, like I said before, this was the one I liked the most. And well, thank you.